r/AskReddit, cashiers of Reddit, what products make you silently judge the persons who buy them? Had a teenage girl come in with several members of her family. They all came up to the counter practically in tears and bought a pregnancy test. She then went into our bathroom to take the test, which I thought was odd. Seems like the kind of thing you'd do in the sanctity of your own home. Then the girl comes out, bawling, and then her family starts bawling and they're making a huge scene in the middle of my store. It was super duper awkward. I work in a bookstore. I've had people read with shame while they bought 50 Shades of Grey and make comments about how I must think they're idiots. Look, I don't give a rip what you buy. At least you're reading and keeping my store open. Do you also get the weekly old men who proudly slap down their peen mag on the counter? I used to work for Borders and those were always the nicest old men. No creepers. LOL. That was my grandpa. Awesome guy. Kept them hidden in the trunk of his car. Always would forget them in the grandchildren rooms when they left. All teenagers. Your grandpa was such a bro. My dad secretly gave me a Playboy subscription when I was circa 14. Got caught once by my mum and the look of pride on his face when I said I found it at school was awesome. I was the coolest motherfricker though. I always had the most recent ones. Finding out your son isn't a snitch. Priceless. Every time I buy lube, I always get this feeling that the cashier thinks I am buying it to have buttocks. Same feeling I get whenever I buy double-ended dildos. At what frequency are you buying double-ended dildos? If I was the cashier, I'd be more curious about how many you're trying to fit at once. Or what the frick are you doing to require a replacement twice a day? They're using it to recreate XE Darth Maul battles. Obi-Wan Kenobi. It turns out he was donating them to a homeless shelter. I didn't judge, but it's a great story. I saw the guy in the condom aisle looking absolutely baffled. I am a pharmacist and went to help, with an inward sigh. Some people have no idea how to use them. He said, I have no idea what I'm looking at. There are so many. I've been fixed for almost 20 years. But my boy's going to college, and I don't want him bringing STDs or any babies home with him. He got really excited when I told him about Spermadict and bought 5-6 dozen count boxes. That's a good dad. Okay, quick story. I have an ultra conservative Asian mom who never ever even mentioned eggs, ever. When I got out of boot camp to my first duty station, everyone was getting care packages from home, cookies, civilian clothes, etc. I got one from my mom. It was about 100 condoms, assorted boxes, with a note, please be safe, and we will never talk about this package. Love mom. That's hilarious. Probably not so much for you at the time. My dad tried giving me the talk when I was 19. When I realized where he was going, I stopped him. Dad, I was having X 3 years ago. I know how it all works. Thanks, I really hate to admit it now, but I was a bit of an ass back then. I called my mum to thank her for the condoms. I told her I would be using them as soon as I could. I could feel her blushing over the phone. He. Thanks mom. I really appreciate you picking up half of my weekly condom bill. He might have done it because your mother told him to. Mom. Go give Igmorjal the talk. Dad. Pretty sure he was banging that one girl in high school. Mom. No he wasn't. My boy would never do that. Dad. I'm almost 100% sure he knows about Zed. Mom. Go give him the talk. Dad. Fine. Bracelets that harness a healing energy of magnets. Every week, this woman bought a shopping cart full of toilet paper. It wasn't my business to ask why, but was curious. How could anyone or any family use so much of it? One day, she said that she was glad it finally went on sale, because she donated most of it each week to the 2 homeless shelters in town. I thought that was so great. That took an unexpected nice turn. Was expecting I like to play mummy with my kids. I've been watching British shows for the past week, so I had to take a good 20 seconds to figure out what you were saying. Are you my mummy? I am very cross. Go to your room. I cashiered at Home Depot. Had a dude in his mid-20s pull up to my register with rope, duct tape, cleaning gloves, tarp, bleach, Febreze, cookies, bucket, sponges. I rung him up. I didn't even notice what he'd purchased until he came back in. He just said, dude, I could be planning a murder and you didn't even care. What the frick? I just lost $20. Then he went to return everything except the cookies. True story. Real murderers use self-checkout. I would be more inclined to think that real murderers would spread those purchases out over several locations and days. Cash only. Sir, I make minimum wage. They do not pay me enough to care about what you are doing with that rope and tarp. When parents with very overweight kids buy nothing but junk food, do you judge people who are high and buy junk food? I worry sometimes. Also, can you tell I'm high when I do it? Usually after you leave my co-workers and I will comment about how stoned the last guy was. We'll laugh briefly and get on with things. We don't judge you, we mostly envy you. Hut up. I had a cashier at Walmart a few weeks ago that was so stoned. I swear it felt like I had a contact high. Time stood still and I started to forget why I was there. Once I left, I felt sober again. When I made it to the parking lot, I swear I found his car. New VW Beetle with flame decals. Your total is so much. Do you have so much with you? Because I need a lot for this lot. Stoners were the easiest customers I had to deal with on the night shift. Drunks were the worst. I think we banned the wrong recreational drug. A Vietnamese lady came in a day after Valentine's Day to buy candy. She bought hundreds of bags. I made a joke about how the dentist bill must be insane, and she told me how she sends the candy to orphan homes in Vietnam because they don't have candy there apparently. Don't judge a book by its cover, guys. I know a guy that purchases cases of water-based lube every other week to donate to homeless shelters. What? Homeless people tend to have dry elbows. Hey Hank, my elbow won't go in your ass all the way. Gimme more lube. I worked as a cashier at Kmart once and it was like my third week there, and then this couple came into my line. They were buying lube, tissues and condoms. As awkward as it was, I had to ring them up. Then out of the complete blue the guy asks me, hey, you should ask me what I'm going to do with those. My supervisor turns and looks me dead in the eyes as a literal ball of sweat drips from my brow. I'm awestruck. I continue to ring them out in silence, then I say I'd rather not. They both laugh at me and I just continue to ring them out. Heavy judgment, because the chick was really hot. Kmart was my first job. I loved when Mexican dudes would come into my line with multiple packs of man thongs. Other than that freaking job sucked. You say that like there were multiple occurrences of this. It happened on the reg. Can confirm. The Latino heat is real. Hey, you should ask me what I'm going to do with those. Losing the condom game. The goal of the game is to place 3 items in front of a cashier that will cause the dirtiest look, most awkward question, or just plain horrified person. One of the items has to be a box of condoms. Their choices were totally pedestrian. You're supposed to choose really crazy things, or things that make offensive implications. Every time this question comes up, I wonder, what makes you think I think anything about you? I think about my feet hurting, my back aching, and how long until my shift ends. You? Not so much. I'm a cashier and this is it. The only time I think about the customers is when they are doing something actually annoying. So if you're not licking your fingers before touching the bills, being super critical about how I do things, telling me the same stupid joke that I've already heard 5 times this shift, or anything generally annoying, I don't care what you buy. Licking your fingers, or sneezing into your wad of cash, or pulling it from a sweaty crack of your body, or giving me all the soda-soaked change from your cup holders. Ah, my favorite joke. Me. This didn't scan correctly. Them. That must mean it's free, then hoi doi doi. LOL. Or you're standing there at a free register during a lull, and they come up with a full trolley like, you look bored. Here's something for you to do. People actually say that? Holy it. When parents get angry at their kids for wanting a 50p pack of stickers, or some cheap child's magazine saying we don't have enough money for that, whilst paying for cigarettes and lottery tickets. Sometimes I just lie to my kids about not having money because we have so much of this random at home that I think I'm going to scream every time I open a drawer in the kitchen. As a parent of 6-year-olds, twins, I could not agree with you more. It's like every goddamn step I take I am stepping on a coloring book or random pack of some kind of bullet that I just said fine you can get it if you just shut the hell up about it. Not a cashier, but I learned the other day that apparently you get judged for buying alcohol at 7 AM. The cashier was pretty vocal about it, and if I wasn't so non-confrontational, I would have told a manager. She flat out said something along the lines of, "It's a little too early for boozing up, don't you think?" 1. None of your business if I'm drinking early in the morning. 2. It was on sale during a routine trip to get milk and such. Am I supposed to just leave it and come back after 5 PM to buy my alcohol? However, when I got home, I realized how my entire purchase looked. I got milk, chocolate milk, Lunchables, also on sale, and a strawberry daiquiri. She probably thought I had kids or something, so I understand her concern. Kind of. She didn't have to say anything, though. It really struck a nerve. That is so dumb. Just because you're buying alcohol at 7 in the morning doesn't mean you're gonna go home and drink it immediately. Do you buy a week's worth of groceries and go home to eat it all right away? No. Do you buy a week's worth of groceries and go home to eat it all right away? Yes. Generally the time it'd say, well, I got a long drive. I work nights. WHO do you think keeps the city running while you're asleep? Me. I just finished a 16-hour shift, so please keep your assumptions to yourself. Thank you very much. Why you screaming, Batman? Congrats, you've made it to the end. You're a beast. Like and subscribe for more r/AskReddit content. It's free, so why not just do it?